What's going on, guys? CGG Matt back. Today we are reacting to a Bleacher Report article by Zach Buckley. It is one trade every NBA team would make if the deadline was today. Today is technically a deadline. Majority of the players that signed in free agency can now be traded today as of the 15th. Does that mean a trade's going to happen? Probably not. But we would like it to, right? That's kind of fun. So instead of talking about a trade that already happened, we're going to talk about some proposed trades that could happen. Zach Buckley made the article. He is really good. Check out his work on Bleacher Report. I think I've reacted to one of his before. He's pretty darn good, at least. I'll say that. We are starting off with the Atlanta Hawks. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, folks. The Atlanta Hawks are up first, and it's the AD trade. Kristaps Porzingis, Asa Newell, Luke Kennard, and a first-round pick for Anthony Davis. My rationale behind not liking this one a little bit is because you're just swapping injury-prone big men, and you're giving up Asa Newell. Asa Newell doesn't get a ton of PT because, well, the Hawks have a good amount of wing guards. You know, Dyson Daniels can play a wing, Nikhil can play a wing, of course, Jalen Johnson, Zach Ricochet, Luke Kennard, V. Crazy. Like, they have a bunch of these off-guard wings, and Asa Newell probably has one of the higher ceilings of them. Just Quinn Snyder doesn't like playing young guys for the most part, so I didn't expect him to get a ton of PT. The reason why I don't like this trade as much is because it feels rushed. I love Anthony Davis. I really do. I'm a Kentucky basketball fan. He's the most dominant college player I've ever seen. But he right now is aging. He's on the down slope of his career, I would say, and it just doesn't make sense for a young team like the Hawks to buy in for today, for now. I get it. You still have Trae Young, and Trae Young, you know, needs a good backline defender. Also, on top of that, like, he's kind of been not great this year. I just don't know. I don't like it. I like that they can keep their team young. Jalen Johnson, Zach Ricochet, Onyeka is still pretty young too. They have a bunch of guys over there that like aren't in their prime yet. And it feels too rushed. It feels too rushed. That's kind of my overarching point is that it just feels like it's too rushed for this young Hawks team. At number 2, we got the Boston Celtics trading Anthony Simons, Josh Minott, and a second-round pick and a first-round pick to the Milwaukee Bucks for Miles Turner. The one reason why I don't think this will happen is just because of the multi-year deal that Turner got. If it comes up, the Celtics should be accepting this trade. Full disclosure, I love Neemias Queta. I think Queta has proven to be a most improved player candidate this year, even though the box score numbers wouldn't tell you that. But the one thing I think the Celtics want is a little bit of flexibility. And Miles Turner, his contract is pretty big and pretty large, and like 4 years. Like, you're fully committed to him being your center. It would move Queta to the bench, which I wouldn't mind. Queta's a good backup big. He can stick it out there. I think it's really interesting to see Miles Turner on the trade block, and he didn't even really get a chance to play with Giannis. That's just how it is. Giannis has been hurt this year. Miles he's had an alright shooting year as well. Like, he's having a decent season, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind this trade for the Celtics, although, like I said, it is a multi-year deal, and you'd be kind of stuck with that for a while. Even if you don't want it, he'll be there. And I think there's just other alternative solutions for the Celtics. Although I think Miles Turner would fit perfectly in a bombs-away three-point shooting system like the Celtics. I don't know. Maybe they do make that trade. I don't dislike it. I'll say that. I don't dislike it. It's a fine trade. Would the Bucks accept it? Probably not. Not gonna lie. Anthony Simons has been kind of mid this year. He's been better defensively, but still not positive. And Josh Minott is a fun wing. I like Josh Minott a lot. Even though we'd have to trade him in that scenario, I'd be okay with it. But Josh Minott's a fun player who a lot of fan bases would like to have. Brooklyn Nets trading Michael Porter Jr. to the Bulls for Pat Williams, Zach Collins, and a first. I don't know who benefits from that. Obviously, the Bulls do. They get better immediately. You know, you add Michael Porter Jr. to that team. He could play the 3, Modest at the 4 or something. You don't have to play Ayo Dosunmu at the 3. You don't have to play Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup. Like, it's not bad. The Bulls definitely get better. I just don't like the trade still because the Bulls are super mid. They are not good. Adding Michael Porter Jr. to an already mid team does not make them contenders. It just makes them deeper into the mid, right? I like MPJ. He's had a streak of 4 straight 35 or 33 plus point games over the last week. He's been going ballistic. But this trade for the Bulls it doesn't make any sense. MPJ is still young and fun for sure. But, the team's terrible defensively. They have no defensive infrastructure. Josh Giddey, Nikola Vucevic, your point guard and your center can't defend. That's troublesome. Then you add MPJ into there, who's also not a great defender. I don't like it for the Bulls. For the Nets, it's a little bit tougher to call whether they would like this trade or not because Mike has been hooping. I genuinely think that they may be able to get more value out of this, but Michael Porter Jr.'s contract is kind of massive. Well, getting a first-round pick out of it, it's top 7 protected, so it would definitely convey because I don't think the Bulls are going to get a top 7 pick. But it's a decent trade for the Nets. I think you could get more value for MPJ. He's been killing it recently. 1 first doesn't feel like enough, especially when it's going to be like a mid, 16th pick. And as for the other pieces, like Zach Collins, I don't even know if he's played a minute this year. I don't even know. And then Patrick Williams is dog shit. That's about it. He's terrible. Move on to the next one. Hornets. LaMelo Ball to the Clippers for John Collins, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Cam Christie, and a first-round pick. That's it? 1 first? Why would the Hornets make this deal? Genuinely don't know. Isn't probably a universally supported idea in Buzz City, but if the Hornets could extract value for him, shouldn't they be open to a reset? This isn't a ton of value is my only issue. Cam Christie is not getting that much burn on a bad Clippers team. He's playing, he's getting starts, but like I don't consistently notice him making an impact. Bogey B, nobody cares, and John Collins is just a contract. These are 2 contract fillers, and all you're getting back essentially is Cam Christie and 1 first. That's not a lot for LaMelo Ball. Fucking Desmond Bane got like 3 or 4. Why is LaMelo Ball getting 1? I don't know. This isn't enough for the Hornets. It's just not enough. Maybe they do want to trade LaMelo and go into a reset with Khan and them. I think Miles Bridges should be the first piece off for the Hornets rather than LaMelo. It should be Miles Bridges. He should be gone. He is not that good. I keep watching them, and I don't know why their front office prioritized him. PJ Washington was there. They let him go. It's just that should have been the guy they kept, to be honest with you, not Miles. Chicago Bulls, Kobe White for Rob Dillingham, Berenger, and Leonard Miller. I think it's pronounced Berenger, not Berenger. I don't know. Yohan Berenger. I don't know. He doesn't play. And Rob Dillingham, also when he's on the court, doesn't play. It's a decent trade. I said in a video Kobe White could be on the trade block. And I felt weird saying that because he feels like he's been a Bull forever now. But this is a trade where it's like, yeah, you get some value back. If you believe in Rob Dillingham, it is really hard to believe in Rob Dillingham in 2025. We're about to be in 2026. It is really hard to believe in him with what he's shown at the NBA level. He can't defend anyone, and we knew that in college. Small guard, he's scrawny, he's not very muscular. Like, you can make up for that, though, if you have good offense. Rob Dillingham has not provided good offense yet. So, I don't know. Do you really believe in Rob Dillingham? I think I'm almost out on him, and that's sad to say because, again, Kentucky basketball, I love the guy. Berenger is an interesting player. Can't he shoot threes and he's like a center? Maybe there's something there. I think I saw him catch a lob a while back. I don't know. The Cavs get Brandon Clark. Okay. Yeah, it's a backup big spot. Is he an expiring deal? I don't dislike this trade. I don't hate it. The Cavs get a backup big man that's serviceable. He can play the 4 or the 5. He makes little push shot floaters in the lane. Like, that's his specialty. And he defends relatively well. I don't mind this trade if I'm them. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, you get Max Strus. He should be expiring soon. And maybe they attach like a 2nd-round pick to it. This is a fine trade. It's a fine trade. Dallas Mavericks trade Anthony Davis for Porzingis, Newell, Kennard in a first. It's just the reverse end of it. Yeah, I think the Hawks look a little bit better on paper. The Mavericks look a bit more youthful, I guess is the way I can phrase it. Luke Kennard helps out a little bit because they need some shooters and some spacers. He can help a little bit. Kristaps obviously is a floor spacer, but he still is dealing with Potts. I smoke Potts, but that's a different story. Yeah, Kristaps is losing the battle to Potts right now. I don't even know how they stop that. That just feels like one of those things where it's like you stand up and your heart rate hits like 140 automatically. How do they fix that? I don't know. Is there bad circulation? Does the guy need an AFib or something? I don't know how they fix that. Doctors, comment down below. How do they fix Potts disease? Does it go away? Like, how does that work? I don't know. For the Mavericks, it's fine. It's a fine trade, I guess. You're getting off the AD contract, and that's the net win. And you get a young player in Asen Newell, who may have something in the tank. We don't quite know yet. Denver Nuggets get Day'Ron Holmes and Jalen Pickett out for Kasparis Yakachonis. Why? Who wins this trade? The Heat don't play Yakachonis because they have a ton of wings. You know what? Fair enough for getting him off the Heat. They don't play him a ton. You think about it, they have a bunch of wings already. I don't know. Andrew Wiggins is there. Norm Powell plays a wing position. Jovic plays a wing position. Pelle Larsson's kind of he's a guard, but he's a little bit bigger. There's a lot. There's a lot of them there. And Yakachonis doesn't get a ton of opportunity because of that. But it's Jaime Jaquez is there as well. He plays a wing spot. There's just a lot of wings over in Miami, and I guess Yakachonis kind of got pushed down on the bench because of that. But he was a standout in Summer League, was it? People said he was killing it in Summer League, I remember. I don't mind it for the Nuggets, I guess. It really seems like a take a chance deal for both of them. I loved Day'Ron Holmes coming out of the draft. I really did. He was a good shooting big man. And I don't know. I just watched him. I love that draft class, so I watched a ton about that. And Day'Ron Holmes was one of my favorite rookies in the class. A big man that can step out and play some decent defense. And on top of that, Jalen Pickett. Go Sienna. Jalen Pickett can shoot. He can shoot a little bit. And he doesn't get much PT. I mean, this is really just swapping guys that don't get a ton of PT because they're buried on a depth chart. Right now, Day'Ron Holmes doesn't play because he's like a 4-5 man. He's not a true center. But you think about it, they have Aaron Gordon, who is not a true center but kind of plays like it. Valanciunas, Jokic, Peyton Watson. They take up minutes for Day'Ron Holmes. He doesn't get the opportunity. They swap for Yakachonis. You know what? Why not? Why not? None of those guys play like that. Ron Holland is on the move with Tobias Harris with a first-round pick, 2 first-round picks for Trey Murphy, Saddiq Bey, and Micah Peavy. You can keep Micah Peavy. I watched him play the other day. Not a fan. Trey Murphy can shoot. I don't mind this deal. I know Ron Holland is like top 5 in steals per game. He's averaging like almost 2. It's pretty decent. But he's young. I don't know. I think I like this trade. Obviously, you're kind of getting rid of Ron Holland, but you're still able to keep Jaden Ivey. I know everyone talked about them getting Lauri Markkanen, but if they were to get Lauri Markkanen, the asking price would be probably both Ivey and Holland. And in this one, you at least get to keep one. And you get a guy who's more complimentary. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen is too. He's the best catch-and-shoot player in basketball right now. But Trey Murphy is not no bum. He can give you 20. He can score off the dribble a little bit, he's shown. And on top of that, he's a good spot-up shooter. I mean, that sounds like a piece that every team would love to have. He's also athletic. Like, he can jump out the gym, too. And he's like 6'8". I don't know. There's not much to dislike about Trey Murphy III. Real Stroka can join a team and be a game changer. I really do like Trey Murphy III in this move, and I don't mind the pieces given up, I guess, because it's only one. Ron Holland is still young, and I know fans love to say he's young, he's got so much potential, but what's Ron Holland's ceiling? Closer to Trey Murphy? I don't think Ron Holland's ever going to get the opportunity to be like a 28-game guy. They have scorers, so he's kind of just going to play like Trey Murphy, catch and shoot and play good defense. Why not just get Trey Murphy? Saddiq Bey and Micah Peavy are also here. Saddiq Bey, I don't even know what to say about him anymore. He came off big injury, so I can't really hate him. I don't know. This one's the Warriors getting Miles Turner for Kuminga and Podziemski. It's not a bad deal. I'd give up picks. The Warriors are going to have to give me picks if I'm the Bucks. I know Miles Turner. I know we're having a bad season. I know we might be looking to trade guys. But can I be frank? This guy right here doesn't even get burned. I know potential. He gets 0 burn because he is awful defensively and he can't shoot. He's very limited on offense and he doesn't defend well. I don't know. For these two, I like Podziemski. He's better. I think he's better than Kuminga right now because he plays a complementary role better. He plays good defense and he hits threes. Like, that's a good complementary player. You're going to have to give me a pick, though, if I'm the Bucks. I'm telling them you're going to have to give me something because these two are not, like, the future. They've already shown that. These two are not the future. I don't see the Warriors trading for Giannis either. That package is not that good. I don't like it. I think I just need to give one more. They need to give a pick or something. Tari Eason, Jayshawn Tate, and a first-round pick to Boston for Peyton Pritchard. No. Why would the Celtics give up Peyton? I don't think the Celtics would give up Peyton Pritchard. It's kind of just the hang up the phone moment there. Yeah, I think they would do that if they could. Tari Eason doesn't. I don't know if he's playing. I think he might be hurt still. I don't know. Jayshawn Tate doesn't get a ton of PT either. And a first-round pick that goes to the Celtics for Peyton Pritchard. The reason why the Celtics wouldn't do that is just because Peyton Pritchard's a 6th Man of the Year candidate, getting paid like $6 million for like 2 or 3 more years. Like, he's so inexpensive and he's productive per dollar. and I think that's how the Celtics kind of operate, is in the aggregate. How much production can we get per dollar? And Peyton Pritchard's one of the best in the league when it comes to that value. I'm not saying Peyton Pritchard's one of the best players in the league. You understand what I'm saying. Either way, I don't mind that trade for the Rockets, but for the Celtics, it makes no sense. The Pacers get a center. They trade Jarris Walker, Ben Shepherd, and a second-round pick for Dan Gafford. I don't mind it. Jarris Walker has been kind of rough at times. Still has a pretty-looking jump shot, shoots well from three, but I don't know. He's more of a complimentary piece than a guy who can be like a... I don't know. I kind of saw maybe Pascal in him a little bit, but he still hasn't shown the ability to dribble and create. Ben Shepherd's had a bad season. He's been hurt, too, in and out. I don't mind this trade for either team, really. I think you're overpaying for Dan Gafford. I shouldn't have to give up 2 young players in a second-round pick to get Dan Gafford, but I don't know. I think that's decent value when the Pacers get a lob threat big man. They don't have any bigs. Their big situation is quite awful. Tony Bradley, I believe, is still there. Jay Huff, Isaiah Jackson. It's actually probably the worst big man room in the NBA right now, and getting Daniel Gafford would be an upgrade. But this feels like a little bit too much. It's a good trade, though, for the Pacers, for sure. Clippers, James Harden for RJ Barrett, Ochai Agbaji, Jamal Shead, and a first-round pick. If the Raptors give up that much, I'd take it. The Clippers are in a really bad spot, and it's probably the worst in the NBA in terms of, like, pick situation and talent and cap space. They're in hell. And this is your way to escape hell, essentially. You just have to get all the value back you can. Ochai Agbaji is an NBA player. Jamal Shead is a good point guard, a true point guard, like a Tyus Jones type. And RJ Barrett is there. He's left-handed. I don't know. Those are compliments that I'm giving him. Altogether for the Raptors, this is a great deal. Altogether for the Clippers, you're not in a position to ask for more. That's the toughest part about being the Clippers, is they're so desperate you can't be picky and ask for more, because no team's going to want to deal with you anymore then. You know what I mean? I like Jamal Shead, though. I think the Raptors should keep him around because he's much more of a traditional point guard than Quickly is. The Lakers trading Dalton Knecht, Maxi Kleber, and a first for Herb Jones. The Pelicans said they're not trading Herb Jones. I believe there was an article that came out or something like that that said the Pelicans will not be trading him. But I guess if the right price comes, this is not the right price. If they were going to give up Herb Jones, they'd probably get more than that. Dalton Knecht, though, is terrible. Maxi Kleber. Ever since that injury, Maxi Kleber hasn't been the same, and 1 first-round pick isn't bad. The Pelicans just said they're not trading him. Yes, the Lakers would do that deal, though, 100%. Memphis, Ja Morant to the Heat for Hero and Jovic. Ooh. Listen, I'm not the biggest Ja Morant guy. I kind of ripped him in my last video, actually, but this is not enough. Tyler Hero is not a bad player by any stretch. Tyler Hero is not a bad player, but he's shown he's not really an all-star type of guy. He might even be better as a 6-man type of guy. And Jovic doesn't play again. This is another guy where it's like, he's disappointed me beyond belief. A lot of guys had a ton of belief in him because of the contract extension he got in the offseason. I never really saw the production to give him that bag. I don't know. I guess Jovic is a really decent flyer if you're going to take a flyer on a young guy. But overall, for Ja Morant, it's like you didn't even get a pick for him. I don't know. I know the situation's bad. Who is this for? The Grizzlies? If I'm the Grizzlies, probably not. I think I can get more for Ja. Miami Heat gets Zion. What the fuck? I wasn't expecting this. T-Row, Pele Larson, and Simone Fontecchio for Zion. So, all right. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Zion doesn't seem like the type of guy who would strive in a place with a ton of strip clubs and, like, parties going on. You know, Zion is a big fan of munching, eating, consuming. And, I don't know, putting him in a position where nightlife goes crazy, I don't know, man. I don't know how much I like it. I know Pat Riley is, the Mr. 3% body fat. You got to have single-digit percent body fat. Typically, I think they say below, like, 8%, which is nuts. It's nuts, but it's fair. You're in the NBA, get in good shape. That's the least. That should be the simplest thing you do. But obviously, I'd do this trade if I was the Heat. If I'm the Heat, I'm 100% doing this trade. Zion's contract is not fully guaranteed. So people are like, oh, he's making $38 billion, $42 billion, whatever. It's not fully guaranteed money because of the injuries he's went through. It's not a bad deal because of that, in my opinion. And you're not getting rid of much. Sorry, Simone Fontecchio has been playing backup center sometimes, but I don't like Simone Fontecchio that much, even though he's had an all right season. Terry Rozier, I don't even know if they could trade him because he's a degenerate gambler. And Pelle Larsson is like, I don't know. Pelle Larsson feels like if Dyson Daniels wasn't that good defensively. And if that's painting a picture for you of the player he is, then yeah. He's good in transition, though, is what I've noticed. But I'd do this trade 100% if I'm the Heat. I'm giving up 0 picks and basically just Pelle Larsson's all I'm worried about there. 0 picks and Pelle Larsson for Zion. Sure, why not? Now we got the Bucks getting Herb Jones, I guess. Bobby Portis, Andre Jackson, and a first-round pick for Herb Jones. Fine. Yeah, if I'm the Bucks, why not? Why not? We get another complimentary guy. We say, hey, we're keeping Giannis, and we're actually doubling down on this team. You get an all-defensive guy in Herb Jones. That's fun. And you give up 1 pick. Andre Jackson, where'd he go? Albany Academy. Go Albany Academy. And Bobby Portis, fan favorite. Time to go, buddy. I don't mind this deal. I mean, I know they're committed to Giannis staying because Giannis hasn't really indicated that he's unhappy and doesn't want to stay. So you got to keep trying something, and if this is your effort, I commend you for it. It's a decent effort for the Bucks. Up next, Minnesota, Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham for Kobe White. Ooh. I like Dante with the Timberwolves because I think they need a 3-point bomber, and they need a guy who can ball handle a little bit and be kind of a playmaker. Dante's not a great playmaker, but he can do it. I think Kobe White is definitely better than Dante at passing and scoring, to be honest with you. I don't mind this. I guess I don't mind this trade then. I kind of talked myself out of it when I first saw it. Now I'm kind of back in. You know, Zach Buckley wrote this one. This is a good little trade right here, man, because the Timberwolves don't have to give up a ton. If they want to go get Morant or they want to go get LaMelo, they probably have to give up Randall. And I don't think they want to do that. They want to keep Randall. They want to keep all their talent. And they get to keep Jalen Clark and, you know, Sir Left Hand Terrence Shannon, who doesn't know how to use his right hand. They get to keep both of them, and you get Kobe White, who's on the last year of his deal, but that also means that it makes you more flexible when he hits free agency, or you extend him. I don't dislike this deal for the Timberwolves. I really don't. T-Wolves fans, talk to me down below. I actually kind of like this deal. The Pelicans, they get they trade Yves Missi, Jay Hawk, and that's it for Jarris Walker and a 2nd-round pick, 2 second-round picks. Sure. You're swapping young guys that I'm kind of out on just about all of them. Jarris Walker, I'm not fully out on yet because I think he's a good complementary piece. He can be an NBA player, just not like a star. Jayhawk, I guess I'm out on. Long mid-range demon, but I think I'm out on that. And Yves Missi, he's a fine center. The Pacers could do that. You know what? I actually don't mind this trade for the Pacers because you get Yves Missi, who is still inexpensive, and you aren't paying him a ton. And he's like a good lob threat. He's kind of, how do I say this? He's kind of rough around the edges still. Not perfect, but the archetype is there for what you want. And Jayhawk, maybe you could turn him into a good 3-point shooter. You turned Aaron Nesmith into a really good NBA player, so maybe Jayhawk's next. I really don't dislike this trade. Although giving up 2 second-round picks with Jarris Walker feels a little bit nuts. Either way, I don't mind this trade either. The Knicks, I think they're getting that guy right there. That's on the that's on the picture. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Pacom Dadier, 1st-round pick, 2 first-round pick, 3 first-round pick, 4 first-round pick to Buck for Giannis and Thanasis. Oh, Thanasis is coming too. We're good. We could pass this one through. It's been floated, and they get to keep Cat. That's actually kind of interesting. They get to keep Cat, but they get rid of Ogugwa, who is a really good NBA player. And Josh Hart, the heart and soul, and Deuce, I don't know. I really don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because what do the Bucks want with these players? You know, there's no young player here that's intriguing. Oh, Pacom Dadier is suddenly interesting. I don't even think he's gotten burned yet. Deuce McBride is a fun backup point guard. He's a fun player. I like Deuce McBride, but I mean, it's not a bad starting spot for the Bucks, though. You get like 4 picks, some swaps in there, whatever. And you get tradable assets. OG can be moved again for more picks. Josh Hart can be moved again for more picks. Miles McBride can be moved again for more picks. It's not a bad starting spot because a team will buy OG Anunoby. Like, if the Bucks trade for OG and say he's still on the market, someone's going to come calling for OG Anunoby or Josh Hart. Or Deuce, honestly, all of them. Altogether, I guess I don't hate this trade that much. It's the Giannis deal, though. And the Bucks are never going to win the Giannis trade. I want people to realize that. It's really hard to trade a top 3 player in the NBA and win the trade. Like, it's fringe impossible, right? So, Bucks fans, I understand, you know, you need the value and stuff like that. But this is not a bad trade package, at least from what I'm seeing. 4 picks and then tradable assets, it's not a bad starting spot to launch your rebuild. OKC Thunder, they get, is that Haywood Highsmith? Yeah, Ousmane Dieng for Haywood Highsmith in 2 seconds. Sure, Haywood Highsmith, yeah. What the fuck happened to his hair? Yo, bro. Minoxidil finasteride, gang. Let's get you hooked up. I think that's illegal in the NBA, minoxidil finasteride. That's tough, which is why they all have to go to Turkey or Sweden, wherever they're going nowadays. I don't know. Orlando Magic get Corey Kispert. Fine. Bench shooter. They give up Jonathan Isaac, who... Jonathan Isaac is an amazing defender. But by God, is he one of the worst offensive players I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. He is god-awful at just about everything offensively. And I don't know. Maybe they should sit his ass in the dunker spot. I don't know. Jace Richardson, I haven't seen play. And 2 second-round picks for Corey Kispert. You know what? I don't mind that. You get off the John Isaac deal, and 2 second-round picks isn't a steep price. You get a good spot-up shooter in Corey Kispert. Your offense has been really decent this year. That would help it tune it up a little bit more. I actually don't mind that trade. The 76ers trade Jared McCain for Jalen Wells and Gigi Jackson. Jared McCain's been rough this season. Very rough. But do you trade him for Jalen Wells, who has reached his ceiling as a player, I would say. He is a 3-and-D guy. Last season was his pinnacle. You know, that might be the best season he's ever going to have. This season's been a little bit different for Jalen Wells. It hasn't been great. And Gigi Jackson has definitely struggled this year as well. Definitely had his struggles this year as well. It'd be the 76ers making this trade? I don't know. Jared McCain's only in year, 2? I mean, I don't think I'm in a rush to trade him. I don't think I like this trade that much. Just because it feels like it's a little bit preemptive, I guess, rushed. Because Jared McCain showed such high highs last season. I know he's been ass this season, but he's coming off a big injury, and he's young, and I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because I'm too forgiving. I love him. I love watching him on TikTok too much. I don't know. Sound like an old man when I say TikTok like that. Phoenix Suns get Zion for Jalen Green. What the fuck? Trade is unhinged, bro. The Suns land Zion. The Heat would keep the weight off. Like, he'd be sweating walking into the practice facility in the desert. Like, that's something. I gotta stop making Zion fat jokes. He's in really good shape this year. He's been really good when he's played too. But that's the thing with Zion, is the when he's played is always gonna be attached. But I guess it's not a bad deal because Jalen Green's played 2 games this year, and in the second one he got hurt, so it's technically 1.5. I don't even know if he's played 48 total minutes this season or not. Like, he hasn't played. He just hasn't played. So that's tough. And Zion is the king of not playing. I think people are overthinking a Zion trade too much. I think a Zion trade makes sense because of the fact that it's non-guaranteed and voidable. There's ways out in that contract. There's basically opt-outs for the team, and they don't have to pay him a ton of money. I genuinely don't dislike the Zion contract as much as other people do. And I guess it doesn't hurt the Suns because you've been playing really good basketball without Jalen Green, and you add a much more efficient player in Zion who gets downhill more. That's one thing that they don't do very well in Phoenix. They're a very jump shooter heavy team. You think about it, Grayson Allen, that's a 3-point shooter. Colin Gillespie, that's a 3-point shooter. Devin Booker is not really a downhill guy. He's a mid-range assassin. Dylan Brooks, well, he's got his offensive bag. I don't even know what we call that. You know, and then you got like Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal. Those guys are more spot-up shooters. Royce can get into the paint, but he's a kick-out type of guy. You know what? I don't mind this trade. I'm talking myself into it for the Phoenix Suns right now because there's opt-out in Zion's deal. It's not fully guaranteed next year, I believe, or something like that. I don't dislike it that much, and Jalen Green hasn't played anyway, so how can a Suns fan have this much attachment for a guy who's played 2 games out of like 25? Suns have been fun. You know what? I don't mind that trade. Portland, oh my God, Trey Murphy's gone again. The poor Pelicans are just getting looted in this damn... The Pelicans have been looted 5 different trades now. Scoot Henderson, Matisse Thybulle, Chris Murray, and a first-round pick for Trey Murphy. I don't mind it. I genuinely don't mind it. Scoot Henderson hasn't played yet, I think. Is he a calf strain guy? He might be. It was something like that. He hasn't played. Matisse Thybulle, he's got money on the books, and he doesn't play either. Chris Murray, I like Chris Murray a little bit. He's even in the picture here. You can see his face in front of Derek Queen. I like this trade for a couple reasons. One, for the Blazers, you're trying to win now, right? Like, I'm pretty sure this is the core that they want to win with, because they have Drew and Dame, and I don't know, Dame and Drew aren't playing, obviously. But, like, this is Denny Avdia's, like, 25. I don't dislike this trade for the Portland Trailblazers. For the Pelicans, I'd probably, you know what? For the Pelicans, it's not bad. Jeremiah Fears has had some high highs and low lows in his rookie season. Low lows. But Scoot Henderson's had some really high highs and some really low lows as well. You're really taking a gamble here, and I don't dislike it. And then for the Blazers, you get Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy is a fine player. I think a lot of teams would love Trey Murphy. I like Chris Murray, too. Chris Murray's a fun little wing, so I don't mind that trade for either side, actually. Sacramento, Levine, Keon Ellis for Bobby Portis, Kuzma, Gary Harris, Cole Anthony, and a first. I think this is an amazing deal for the Bucks. Truth be told, I do. Keon Ellis is a really good perimeter defender, and he's a guy that a lot of teams would like to have. He's a good 3-and-D point guard. And Zach LaVine is frustrating. He's very frustrating. For about a decade now, he's been awful at defense. You don't ask him to defend worth anything. But the Bucks have two good backline defenders, Giannis, Miles Turner. That can help out a lot. The only issue here is now, to me at least, is that with Portis gone and Kuzma gone, like, there's a lack of depth in the front court with the big men spot. Miles, Jericho, and Giannis would be your only three real big men, I think. Unless there's another big that I'm forgetting. But I don't mind the trade for the Bucks. I don't hate it. For the Kings, you get off Zach LaVine, and that's good enough for me, dog. I don't care about anybody else here. I don't care about Portis, Kuzma, Gary, Cole. Just give me that pick and let me get away from Zach LaVine. I guess I don't mind this trade. The Bucks just dig themselves deeper into the Giannis, building with Giannis thing, and I guess I don't mind that. I love a homegrown star, and I like that they keep trying, even though it hasn't worked. In recent years, it has worked, just not in recent years. That's what I'm kind of saying. Spurs, Sohan. He's bad, dog. To the Bucks for Gary Harris, Amir Coffey, and a first. What? Who wins this trade? Yeah, the Spurs would take this trade. A first-round pick for a garbage-ass Jeremy Sohan? Are you kidding me? This guy can't even crack 20 minutes in the rotation. When Vic was out, he wasn't playing 20 minutes in the rotation still. Hell yeah, I'm taking a first-round pick. Even if it's a swap, sure, dog. Sure. The Spurs in 2031 are probably going to be better than the Bucks in 2031. Let's just be honest with each other. I'm absolutely taking this trade if I'm the Spurs. If I'm the Bucks, why do I want Jeremy Sohan? I really don't. The guy shoots free throws with one hand. Do you really think there's a bag in there? Do you think a bag work Jeremy Sohan is coming? He shoots free throws with one hand. I don't think Jeremy Sohan would want this trade, bro, because Milwaukee doesn't play the Lakers that often, and that's like the only guy Jeremy shows up against, so... Toronto Raptors get Dalton Connect for Jacoby Walter. Jacoby Walter's a fine off guard, so I guess I don't mind that deal for the Lakers. And for the Raptors, they lose. They lose the trade. Dalton Connect is bad. Like, objectively, not very good. Maybe it's because of that trade last season that got nixed for Mark Williams. I don't know. But what I do know is that he can't shoot. I've said it before in videos. I'll say it again. As a white guy myself, like, if you're a white guy in the NBA and you can't shoot and you're not 7 foot, you're in a really weird spot, my man. And if you're not a 7-footer, like, you can't dunk. I don't know. Dalton Connect doesn't really provide anything. He's in a really bad spot. And Jacoby Walter for Dalton Connect, I'd absolutely take that from the Lakers every day and tomorrow. I don't know why the Raptors would do it, though. To me, it doesn't make sense. So what their argument here is they may need a Dalton Connect for a Giannis trade. Why? What? Do the Bucks want Dalton Connect more than they want Jacoby Walter? I don't know. I'm getting away from it. I don't like it. It scares me. Utah Jazz are up next. Injured Walker Kessler and Cody Williams to the Pacers for Ben Mathurin. This isn't a bad swap for either side. Of course, I think the Pacers fans don't want to trade Ben Mathurin, but you get in a really good center in Walker Kessler, who is stepping out and developing his game before he got hurt. And Cody Williams, you take a flyer on a guy who may be good, may not be good. You see his segment with him and J-Dub shooting on the mini hoop in their living room on NBA TV if you watch, and it really makes you wonder, how is one of them way better than the other? I don't know. I think if you're the Pacers, you have to give up value to get value, and especially at a position of need center for them. I don't mind this trade as much. I think the Pacers fans would hate it, but as a Jazz fan, if you're a Jazz fan, like, this is a fine trade. Cody Williams doesn't get any burn. Walker Kessler's hurt, and you get Ben Mathurin, who's a guy, yeah, you're going to have to pay, but, like, he's a bucket. And, you know, that's something. Lastly, we got the Wizards trading CJ McCollum to the Warriors for Kuminga Hield in a second. If I'm the Wizards, I guess I'll take this trade. CJ McCollum doesn't add anything to this team, and we're taking a flyer on Jonathan Kuminga, who I've already talked about at length, saying I'm not a big fan of his. You know what? You're taking a flyer on a guy. The Wizards suck, and so you might as well get rid of the vets. CJ McCollum doesn't fix the Warriors' problem, and I guess that's my only worry about this trade, is CJ McCollum doesn't really help them get to where they need to be. The Warriors need a big man, and they don't get that. They get CJ McCollum. Would CJ fit the Warriors? Absolutely. He's a good off-ball mover. He's a good shooter. He can create with the ball. Like, he fits. Don't get me wrong. He definitely fits, especially because Jimmy Butler is not really an aggressive scorer. You can give CJ McCollum the ball without Steph Curry there, but they're Pat Spencer now, so they don't need that. No, they definitely just need a big more than they need CJ McCollum. But if I'm the Wizards, sure, why not? I get a young guy and I get rid of an old guy. Why not? If you enjoyed this video, you should like, subscribe. Thank you all for joining me. Shout out to Zach Buckley. I'm going to go catch the game. See you guys in the next one.